There you go. Cool. All right. So welcome everybody. Okay. So like what I said before, be we're not going to be joined by the guys from Roos Public School just right now. We're looking at rescheduling, but I do want us to talk about sustainability and school policy as well. As you know, a lot of you are from schools with quite a few XO laptops that you've purchased. Some of you more than 50, some of you more than 300. And what I wanted to do is encourage everybody that we do have a plan for sustainability, and I want to have everybody's opinion and I want everybody's feedback on that plan so we can make it even better. I do believe in collaboration, and let's see what we can do. So, folks, I'm going to unmute everybody, and I'd like to open the floor for people to share their thoughts. I'm going to pose a question out there, and I'd like for everybody to just contribute what they're doing at their school, and I'm going to pick on a few people if you don't mind. So let's get started. Okay, so everybody can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. All right, folks, well, let's get started. The first question I have is how many people in your school are actually looking after the XOs? So, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to hang on a sec. So I'm going to start alphabetically. So, Miss Holland, could you tell us what school you're from and how many people look after the XOs?
I'm from the Whole State School. We're in Rockhampton in Central Queensland. And we have 4 classes that use our XO, grade 2 to grade 4.
Cool. And how many teachers are officially looking after your XO devices?
Each teacher looks after their own classroom.
Okay.
So we have 4 teachers.
So 4 teachers, not a problem, not a problem. Cool. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly put you on mute so I know which people I've spoken to. Anne, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can, John.
Awesome. Okay, so Anne, would you be able to tell us your school and how many XOs you guys have?
I'm at Sandy Strait School in Harvey Bay, Queensland. We have 100 exos and they're spread over 4 prep classrooms.
And how many people are actually looking after the XOs, as in like the person you normally go to when something goes wrong?
I'm probably the go-to person, John.
Okay, so it's just
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm training up some more to be the go-to.
Fantastic. Okay. All right, so I'll quickly put you on mute and I'll go down to Daniel. G'day, Daniel. Can you hear us okay?
Yep.
G'day, sir. Could you tell us, just the audience, what school you're with and how many XOs you guys have?
At Edinburgh Public, we have 60.
Fantastic. And so how many teachers do you have looking after the XOs?
There's only one teacher and me.
Okay, so
I look after the technical aspect of it, and she looks after the apps.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, so I'll quickly put you on hold and I'll go down to Michelle. G'day, Michelle. It's your turn. So how many XOs do you guys have and how many people are looking after them?
We've got about 300 exos and I'm looking after them.
Just yourself?
Yes, just me.
Oh, wow, that's a big job, mate.
Yes, I know. We've started training a group this term for exo mechanics so they can help.
Oh, brilliant. That's really good. That's really good. So let's keep that idea of the exo mechanics in mind. And what school are you with again? Sorry, Michelle?
At Amval Primary School, Southwest Sydney.
Fantastic. Alrighty, so I'll quickly put you on hold and I'll have a chat with Ruben. Mr. Lloyd, how you going?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing well, mate. Doing well. So, could you just describe how many XOs you're responsible to look after?
We have 260, and they are allocated from K to 2 only.
Yep.
as far as the technical side of things is concerned, it's pretty much just myself at this point.
Mm-mm-mm.
We wanted to get students to do it, but that hasn't been my responsibility to organise, but we haven't done that just yet.
Mm-mm-mm.
I have also a teacher who is probably the person who is the most advanced there with the apps and things, and he can support the other teachers if he needs to.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So it's not just yourself, basically. So it's one and a half. So
Yeah.
was that for Blair Mount or for John Warby or a bit
Oh,
of
yes, sorry, for Blair Mount, yes. John Warby, I'm not quite sure how many they have, but they're from K to 6 anyway.
Mm-mm-mm.
Not as many as Blair Mount has, I don't think, but
Mm-mm.
yeah, they've only just recently switched from Sugar to the Google stuff.
And yep,
But
yep,
yeah, the
cool.
Android stuff, sorry. They probably need to get some training in that because they're not 100% familiar with it, but we do have some of the senior classes starting to use Google Classroom and yeah, things like
Perfect.
that. Yep.
Okay, so we've obviously got a lot of stuff to talk about tomorrow then. So for those of you who don't know, I tend to visit the schools that I can. Unfortunately, being New South Wales locked, it's very difficult for me to go interstate without prior arrangements. So with that in mind, I do want everybody to get up to speed with Android and get to that level. Now, I'm going to mute everybody if you don't mind. Thanks, Ruben. Um, Folks, thank you so much for that interaction. That was really valuable. What that told me basically is from a school that ranges from 50 XOs all the way to a school as large as Blairmont and John Warby, you're basically looking at just the two people. One of them normally handles the technical side of things, and the other one handles the app side, or as I'd like to call it, the student side of things. And or there's a good possibility both of you would be handling both aspects. And that's when it becomes a little bit dangerous because what if, say, for example, Daniel gets promoted and gets needs to move school, or Michelle, you, for example, decided to go into state or go for a long service leave and go on a massive holiday. It does happen. But what we need to do is the sustainability of the project, and we want to make sure that that is feasible. Um, so that's why we actually came up with what we call the social aspect of One Education. It's called the One Education Community. I'm going to bring up a rubric. This is for, it's called Kids Meet. And the social aspect of One Education mainly deals with the teachers putting a lot of effort in. And I don't want to scare anyone about this, but it does need a bit of help. So can actually, you know what? I might email everybody a copy of this so you guys can have um, can get a copy of it as well. Is that okay? Um, Bear with me for a moment. I'm just going to open up one of my email thingamabobs and put all of you guys in. Yeah, email thingamabobs is an actual official technical term. You heard it from an IT guy, so it must be true. Okay. Miss Holland, what's the email address I can send it to?
S
Yes.
L
Mm-hmm.
SLEIG
Yes.
30
30. Yep.
at
EQ.
EQ. You know the rest.
That's right. Okay. So with your permission, guys, I'm just going to ask everyone for their email address. It's just quicker for me to do so. So I'll go down to Anne. Thanks, Acacia. I am pronouncing your name right. Is that correct?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Thanks, Miss Holland. I'll put you on mute. So, Anne, what's your email address?
You there, John? Sorry.
I'm sorry. What's the best email address I could put, Miss? Daniel gave me it. Awesome.
It's
Yes.
INCPH25
Yes.
at eq.edu.au.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks for that. Thanks, Daniel. I've got that. And Michelle, can I quickly get your email address? Um, Hi, Michelle.
Sorry, John, I got called away.
That's okay. Can I just quickly grab your email address? I wanted to send everybody a PDF file from the kids meet, and I want us to discuss it.
Yep, Michelle.Hartley,
Yep.
6.
Yep. I've got you. I've got you. Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Cool. I'll quickly put this on mute. So, teachers, what I'll do is I'll quickly pass this on, and this is written and prepared by Mr. Paul McKillicuddy from Reese Public School. So, even though Paul couldn't be here with us in person, he at least he's here in spirit because this is his work. And I'll give you a quick overview. A second. I'll give you a quick overview. What happens with this? What happened to this is your students then are trained as exomechanics, and you have multiple schools around your area. So, say for example, in the Sydney side of Campbelltown, there are 20 other schools in a 15-kilometer radius, maybe 20-kilometer radius. And a lot of those schools are actually XO One Education schools as well, with their own program from the mechanics. So what we've done is we've combined those schools together. We've asked for one teacher and a carload of students. So normally that's 3 to 4 students per one teacher. There's a school that actually volunteers to host it. And the surrounding schools, as much as 5 to 8 schools in one time. 4 schools would be optimal. That way, it's really easy to handle, and there's a lot of interaction between staff and students. And what we suggest is during that time, students then get to be broken up into separate groups. The students have a chat about what they're doing as an icebreaker, have a chat about what they're doing with their exos and what they're doing as mechanics. And from that point on, we then issue a few challenges to them. So I'll give everyone a few minutes to have a look at the rubric that I just sent. So the document that I just sent out. So have a go, have a bit of a read. I'll give everybody maybe a few minutes on that, and we're going to discuss the document that I've just sent you. So if you do not, as in if you do not have that document, there's a little button that's raise hand. So if you do not have that document that I emailed, quickly raise your hand so I can add you to the email list, and I'll quickly send that again. So if you do not have it. If you do have it, however, just take 5 minutes to read. We'll reconvene at 20 past 4, and I want us to actually discuss this at in a bit of length because this is something that I think would help cement the sustainability of ICT and of the programs you guys are trying to do. So I'm gonna shut up now. I'll unmute myself after 5 minutes, and we'll discuss this, teachers. Welcome back. So I trust everybody had no problems accessing the file that I just emailed everybody. So I'm going to quickly unmute everybody. Hang on a sec. Hello. So let's get started by the actual meeting of it. Hang on, let me. Sorry, Ruben. I had to mute you. There was a really bad background noise on your microphone, buddy. So, folks, I just wanted to show you what the document has. So this is the agenda for the afternoon. There were quite a few schools that Mr. McKillicuddy invited. Out of the schools that he invited, a good 6, I think, turned up, maybe more. The icebreaker just made the students feel more comfortable with each other, and the actual day went on. Um, the exciting thing was everyone that was attending the event got to know other teachers from other schools. So it's not just a geographical thing, but it became a bit of a social thing as well. And I'm not really too familiar with the terminologies, but there's something here called soul. I don't really know what that means. Could anyone kind of help me out with that? Anyone? Michelle, do you know
Is
what's?
it an acronym? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think it's something like Genius Hour, like a self-directed student.
Oh, yep. Because in this activity, what they did is they actually had a group together. So all of the students in the separate groups, so we split them up into groups of 6, right? And they came up with a little like an idea bubble. So it's like a butcher's paper. Everyone got a butcher's paper, and in the middle was what does it mean to become a mechanic? And everyone listed down leadership and helping your friends, helping the student, helping the teachers, and it just it's kind of like I don't know the exact term for it, but it's like what they thought expanded out onto that butcher's paper, and they had to present it in front of the group, which I thought took a lot of guts because this is like 36 students you have not met before. So it was a really good experience for them. So from what you've read, what do you think is replicatable? What do you think we can replicate in your school? So what do you think the whole state school can do in this case, Acacia? Do you think this is something that we can replicate there?
I would love to have somebody come in and show us all that stuff.
Cool. All
I'm in Queensland though, so you can't really come up, can you?
We can talk about that at a later time. We can, uh, yeah, we'll discuss that at a later time. I'm trying to harass my boss to foot the bill to fly me up to Queensland.
You're
So,
welcome. Anytime.
so
We've got some schools up here that have got lots of exos that probably would be happy to get in on a group like that.
that'd be great, actually. Yeah. So, well, what I'll do is I'll email you some details about what I plan to do, and we can work together on the side for that. Because I actually found out an airplane ticket to Brisbane is only $80 from Jetstar. So I was
Still a
like,
long walk from Brisbane to Rockhampton.
oh, okay. Sorry.
It's a day's drive from Brisbane to Rockhampton.
Fair enough. I'll make sure to look for what's the nearest airport from Rocky?
It is Rockhampton.
Just Rockhampton itself. Oh, easy, easy. Okay. So Anne, do you think this is something we can replicate over at your school?
Yes, I do. I like the idea.
Excellent, excellent. What I do find funny in this case, though, is they have this collaboration rubric, and the kids can be brutally honest. They are brutally honest. So they vote for this child to speak on behalf of the entire group, and if if there was a disagreement or something like that, they'd rate themselves down, and they'd say, "Oh no, look, the group needed to stop fighting too much," and blah blah blah. And it was just like a degree of openness that's refreshing to see, when you're in the corporate world for so long. So anyway, I found that was incredibly good. So Daniel, do you think this is something we can do at your school?
Yeah, I think so. We
Um,
haven't been using the exos for very long though.
because whereabouts is Inverell? Because my geography is absolutely short. As I actually thought the Gold Coast and Brisbane was one place until my boss told me no, it's not. Um,
Well, it's northwestern New South Wales,
are you guys close
New
to?
England.
Okay, okay. Hmm. Let me have a look at my system here and see what the closest school would be for you guys. Because I think Inverell's got you guys have got 60 devices, but the closest school to you. Hang on a sec. Let me have a look. Okay, so the closest school to you is only 130 kilometers away in Armidale.
Okay.
So it's
That's Armidale.
wow. Either that or we'll ship you guys off to Moray or Lismore. Jeez, that is a bit far, isn't it?
Mm.
Shoot. Okay. Um, we might need to organize something for you guys. Um, Michelle, do you think this is something we can replicate over at your school?
Well, we were actually there on the day, John.
No, but as in like the host.
Yeah, we'd be happy to host one. The students that I took over are still talking about things they did on the day. So, and most of them are involved in our mechanic group we're creating.
Fantastic. So you haven't officially formalized Ambervale's what do you call it? Mechanic program, but the students you've already spotted which students to pick. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've started a Genius Hour adventure type thing at school this term, and the students got to choose what they could do. So I created the Exo Mechanic group.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. And I guess from your experiences, because you having been to Mr. McKillicuddy's session, what did you think the biggest benefit the students took out of it?
I think the students interacting with the other students from other schools, and because our students hadn't removed the keyboard or done things like that before, and they could see the other students do it.
Hmm. And it just gave them a bit more confidence to try something new, maybe?
Yeah, and now they're telling other students, oh, this is the problem with your EXO, and trying to connect them to the wireless as well rather than rely on me all the time.
Fantastic, fantastic. Hang on, I'm just going to unmute Ruben. Ruben, did you hear that?
Yep, I did.
So there's still hope, mate. There's still
Can you
hope.
hear me? Yeah, well, in our particular school, that's what I would like to happen, because I can't, do the whole thing myself. I would like to have students, or anyway, teachers or whatever it is, to have a lot more knowledge about the actual device itself and how to set it up and how to repair some of the basic problems and parts and things. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully we'll be able to replicate this, because I know Paul has got Mr. McKillicuddy has got a lot on his plate, like a lot on his plate, and even though he's happy to host it, I want to take the pressure off and just give him a bit of reprieve and cutting it up into smaller groups. I'm not really big when it comes to school politics. I don't really want to get into it, but I I was kind of hoping, people would just pick up and play with anyone they can. So my suggestion is I want to work with all of you guys, and let's focus on getting one of these mechanics group up and running. And in term 4, um, we can organize an exo mechanics meetup for each of your schools, or a collaboration of sorts, and we can go from there. Would that timing be enough for organization for term 4, you reckon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but in my particular case, though, it doesn't just depend on me, though.
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah.
We have a technology committee who's supposed to sort of set the direction and all that sort of thing. And specifically, there's one teacher who is the title, I guess you'd say, technology coach, and at this point in time, they're focusing a bit more on the iPads, that particular teacher. However, if I think it might have to be a case of they might have to do the iPads, and the other teacher who's a bit more advanced with the EXOs, he may have to become like an EXO coordinator or something, because I don't think one person can do all of that.
It's almost the same amount. It's just, well, the iPad just has a different interface and all that kind of stuff, but it's the same basket, literally. So
Oh, a computer is a computer.
yeah,
They
exactly.
look different, but yeah.
Well, now that we've discussed about the sustainability, the reason I suspect Kids Meet would be a brilliant plan to take with you is, well, once the children are excited and you get in touch with other teachers, you can then see, you're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. And even though you're kilometers apart, there's still possibility of going to another school that might be able to help you, or forming a relationship with another school that'll be able to help you. And that's what the One Education community should be about. And I want to open this up. I know there's a Yammer group so an XO group in Yammer. I haven't finished my degree yet, so they don't let me into Yammer because I'm not a full-fledged teacher yet. But I wouldn't mind if you guys could, I guess, sound it out and see if other schools in your vicinity that you play nice with would be able to participate. Well, that being said, I also know now that Android has. Let me just open up my Android XR. Now that Android's fully released, and everybody has it. You all know about the dangers of having Play Store, correct?
Yep.
Yep. And
I saw, sorry.
sorry, Acacia, with Android, hang on, let me oops, sorry, I'm highlighting the wrong screen. Let me just change that. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? You guys can see my XO?
Yep.
Yep,
Brilliant.
yep, now
So,
again.
okay. So, teachers, I'm just going to quickly go to the Play Store, and I've got this under my account, and I'm going to type in 50 Shades of Grey. I hope I can spell better than that. And no word of a lie, we have found a few students in some Western Sydney schools because mom and dad has trusted them with their password or whatever. These kids have downloaded 50 Shades of Grey on their XOs.
Using their parents' accounts.
Yes, because they've
Okay.
memorized their password and their username.
Yep.
So that can be quite disconcerting or dangerous, and especially because, well, these kids could be as young as year 4 or year 5, and they're very, very smart, sometimes too smart for their own good. So what we've done is we've actually downloaded an app. I haven't had permission to distribute this just yet. It's called Smart App Lock. Can you guys see that? So teachers, I'm going to turn on Smart App Lock, and I'm going to, I'm going to open it with a password first, and I'm going to quickly add Play Store as an app that I don't want anyone to use. So I'm going to press the plus button, okay? And when I press the plus button, you see all of these selections come up. I'm going to quickly browse and go to the Play Store, and I just missed it. There you go, Play Store. So I found it. I'm going to quickly add Play Store. Okay. Once I've got it ticked, I'm going to just quickly add. And I'm going to add something called fake screen. Okay. So teachers, pay close attention to this here. What fake screen does, I quickly tap it. Oops. Sorry, did I lose anyone? Everyone say it? Oh. Sorry.
We're on.
I'm gonna use my mouse, teachers, because my fingers are a bit too big. So I'm gonna quickly click on the fake icon there, and it says here fake lock enabled for Play Store. And then if the students actually click on Play Store, touch it, and try to open it, it's gonna say unfortunately Play Store has stopped working. Okay. And I'm gonna get rid of the text that tells the student how to get rid of it. So now that's done, I'm going to go to Play Store again and try to download 50 Shades of Grey. Play Store. Unfortunately, Play Store has stopped. Yeah? So if you actually, as the teacher, need to get to the Play Store, just press and hold the OK button, and you've got the Smart App lock screen again. And there you go.
Can I just ask a question then with that?
Yeah, go for it, really.
If you then have this, say, exomechanic thing that we were discussing,
Yes, sir.
and then you're telling the students how to set it up and all of that, I wouldn't imagine then that you would allow them to set this up either.
No,
Is
sir.
that right?
Absolutely correct. When it comes to it, I believe that authority should fall on the shoulders of the teachers. The mechanics have enough leadership on their shoulders with knowing how to repair and reflash an XO, connect to the internet and all that kind of stuff. They already have enough power. Yeah, let's use that word. They have enough power as it is. I don't want to give them further power by teaching them to lock their friends or kids they don't like out of the programs. So, what do you think about that? Do you think you guys can use something like this?
Yep.
Yep. But we still have to go around to 260 devices and set it up.
Yes. Well, it's not really 200, isn't it, Daniel? It's more, Ruben, it's more 330, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
So I just,
Too many.
but
Yeah.
what I actually have for, and this is something I wanted to show to the teachers as well, is I'm going to give you guys my secret, my little, how do I call it? My secret weapon. So what I've been doing is I've been teaching a lot of the teachers who are not XO, who's not really the main go-to person for XOs. What I tell them is on your computer in the classroom, because every classroom, please correct me if I'm wrong, but every classroom I was told has some sort of a PC device that controls the interactive whiteboard or something along those lines.
Yep.
Cool. So teachers, all you need to do is create a folder where you can download all of the files and apps that you want. Yeah. For your students. And if I actually, this is on my laptop, okay? So if I actually use this method, I'm going to quickly go to that folder, and you can see the actual boot file to launch your XO and reformat it is here. I've just highlighted them. So if you can imagine, you can get the students to then just get a USB stick or get your USB stick, which one comes first. You can save the apps, you can save the files to them, and they can just tap each one of these and load them to their device. So case in point, this is a USB stick I prepared earlier.
There is a way to send those files through ES File Explorer
Yes.
but there's a bit of a trick to it. Every EXO that you want to send has to have every EXO you want to send the file to has to have ES File Explorer opened.
At that time.
And the other thing I noticed was when it comes to the IP addresses, if they're not on the same subnet, it doesn't work.
Yep, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's something I'm trying to rehash with the guys at the office. But I guess the way I'm doing it is I'm pretending that there's absolutely no internet available. So it's kind of like the manual method, but it's the most streamlined manual method I can think of. So so teachers, if you can imagine, you've downloaded the apps, you've extracted the apps, and you've put it on a USB storage stick. On my USB storage stick, I've got, hang on, I'm just going to quickly get my highlighter again. So I've got my keys, boot, and this guy here are the three files you need to boot up and reformat your XR. And I've just got this app here that if you want to install an app from a USB stick, so this is a USB stick already plugged into my XR, I just tap it and I can install it right then and there. So in terms of protecting your students, the best method I can teach you is get the apps, the Smart App Lock, extract it, and push it to the rest of your students, either ES File Explorer version or use the actual USB stick to do it. And if you'd like to know more on how to do that, please let me know so I can show you the webinar where we do it, and you can just quickly review it on video. So,
That would be good.
sorry, Acacia?
That would be good.
Oh, not a problem. I'll make a note of that one and send that to you. Not a problem. Did you want to see that video as well, Miss Hartley?
No, I've already seen it.
Yep.
Okay.
Not a problem. Okay. So, teachers, let's move forward. So that, okay. So that was Anne, wasn't it?
That's right.
Okay. Let me just get my email out of the way, and I shall give you guys that email. So, okay. Okay, so the next topic I actually wanted us to talk about, folks, is now that we've spoken about protecting your students, it's about punishment and restitution. So now that we've actually discussed, okay, well, the students have already broken your promise, they've downloaded 50 Shades of Grey or something like that. From the teachers that I've spoken to, they actually ban the student from technology until the student can then restore themselves back into your good graces. And it's a bit draconian, but it works. It works so well. It's a great way to manage the student's behavior. And I just wanted to ask the teachers, and I'm going to put it out there on open forum, what's a good way for the students to work them to get themselves back into to your circle of trust, so to say? What do you reckon, Michelle?
I don't know. I haven't had any students, well, that I know of yet, download things.
Oh, good. Let's keep it that way.
that I know of yet.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So one option that was told to me is if the teachers find unapproved apps, so basically apps that you haven't approved as teachers, and the students have downloaded it, like Grand Theft Auto or that horrible game, Five Nights at Freddy's. That is I'm an adult and I hate that game. And it's such a popular game with the kids. It's so inappropriate too. If you're in high school, I don't care, but this is primary school kids we're talking about. Anyway, what other teachers have said is if they find apps like that, they actually reformat the XO, give the student a warning, and say, listen, this is not according to school policy. And if they catch them after the third time they've done that, that's when the ban happens, and I don't know, kind of just it's an executive management issue from there. But I just wanted to let everybody know, look, be prepared for it, because going forward, once everybody has the internet connectivity and everybody has access to the Play Store, this will happen. So, all right. So, any comments from the teachers?
I was just going to say,
Go
I
ahead, sir.
mentioned it, I think, last time. I'm not sure if it was last time anyway. We had issues with a class of students putting passwords in their exos.
Yes.
One student probably would have shown them all how to do it, and then they all did it.
Yes.
Monkey see, monkey do. So because they did that, obviously, then we don't know how to get back into the exo, so we had to wipe them and reinstall everything.
Yes. Yes.
And so as far as punishment was concerned, the teacher who was in the more advanced teacher basically yelled at them, I guess. We didn't really have a policy in place as yet, I guess, but it was just a case of saying to them that if they did that again, then they would just be banned, because it's all fine for students to experiment and play and all that sort of thing, but there's a point where it's a bit inappropriate. And if they can't get onto their exos because they don't remember their passwords or whatever it is, then that just is a waste of time.
It
Let's mention
stops the
the fact.
lesson.
Yeah. Then you have to reinstall everything, so that's another additional waste of time. So I think that might be something the other teachers here, I don't know if you would come across it if you haven't already. Yeah, I think a policy is something that really needs to be put into place. Yeah.
Cool. Daniel, this is something I was thinking of when you were describing your school, by the way, because one disadvantage that I can see is if there are students that share the XR,
Yeah.
you're not going to want students to use another person's account or anything like that. Say, for example, logging onto their portal or something like that. But in Smart App Lock, you can actually lock out the settings menu. So I'm going to quickly lock out settings to show everybody. So that's I've just gone to Smart App Lock, gone into settings, and again put a fake one on. Okay, and I'm going to exit that one. I'm going to try to access settings now, and it's going to say unfortunately settings is stopped. Now, if I press and hold that, it's going to get me back to that same screen, and it's going to access settings for me. And from there, you can then go and get your Google account synced or whatever. So one aspect, especially for students who are sharing XOs, is we can definitely put a lock to stop students from adding passwords and whatnot using Smart App Lock. But at the same time, it's just going to make it a bit difficult in terms of switching over when the students are done. So yeah, at the moment, there's no quick and fast way to do so. A bit of management from the teachers and expectations. That's one way we can think about managing the situation. So,
Can I just ask, seeing as you set up the app lock there with the settings,
yes, sure.
can you just test it if that affects airplane mode as well? Because we've had students who, because it's looks like an airplane and, they like to press things, they turn that on and then they can't connect to the internet, obviously.
That's a very good question. Let's have a look. You know what you just made me do, Ruben?
What? You disconnected your XO. Doesn't matter. I still want to know if it works.
Mango?
You can test it. You can still tell us.
Well, sorry, I'm just a bit flustered at the
Come on, you should have known that was going to happen.
So, oh, there you go. You happy? I'm gonna have to edit that now.
That's a good trick. That's a good trick. Yeah.
Thanks, gentlemen. Thank you. Laugh at my expense. That's okay. Okay, but no, unfortunately, unfortunately, it doesn't cancel out airplane mode because there's a shortcut on the swipe down tab.
Mm,
That gave me a good laugh. Thanks for that.
okay.
Okay, so let me just quickly reconnect. Anyway, so for the last few minutes of this webinar, what I wanted to do, guys, is just show because we discussed Scratch last week, and I wanted to share with you a few resources that I actually found, and it's quite cool because it's free, which is a really good price. However, there's a catch. Oh, stop it! I know Play Store stopped. Okay. Nope, I don't want Dear Diary. The catch is it's got a lot of clickbait. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the term, but clickbait seems like a legitimate link and it's enticing you to actually click on it, but it's not really. Um, so this guy, David Phillips, actually has quite a few instructions on how to actually use Scratch, and this is Scratch itself, the big boy Scratch, but it'll help you get your head around what the commands are and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to share is because we've spoken about it already, is we've actually got Scratch Junior tutorials on YouTube. So this is not just my work, but works of other teachers as well. Um, and you can actually use what they're trying to do and base it off, like say for example, the YouTube clip that I linked on chat. If you had a chance, have a bit of a look on that. Um, and if you have any other questions regarding it, just feel free to give me an email and we can work through that together. The best one I've found so far is from an actual teacher. Hang on a sec. Let me just make sure I've got that one. Food Republic. I think it's this guy, Jeff Bradbury. So it's called TeacherCast, and he did something called an hour of code, but he also reviewed the Scratch. I'm actually going to just search it. Here we go. This is really, really worth the listen. It's. I know it goes for 43 minutes, but it's so worthwhile because it actually goes through a sample lesson plan. So if you guys would like to have a look at that, I'm going to put that. I'm going to share that website on chat. Now, please note he actually uses the Apple version, but I'm talking to the developers right now, and hopefully they will be able to provide us with the same functions that the Apple app has. Okay, so teachers, that's basically it. We touched a little bit on Scratch, but I wanted to empower you to download Scratch from your App Universe, or if you'd like, download it from your Play Store. Have a bit of a play because it lets the students really go crazy when it comes to creativity. It is really, really good. And I'd like to encourage you to have a play yourself. Watch last week's webinar where Mrs. Robig from the Rangbar taught all of us how to use Scratch. And Leah, I think she's the head of curriculum or assistant principal. I'm not sure what the titles are, but she actually talks about how using Scratch allows them to hit curriculum outcomes. But teachers, that's basically all for now from me. I hope you guys got something out of it. And I'd like to conclude that webinar tonight.
Can I ask
Yeah, go
a
ahead.
question?
Yes, ma'am.
I was just wondering if anybody in the group would be happy to share a list of some of the apps that they're using. I have a grade 4 and our kids that use our exos are all grade 2 to grade 4, so I'm just wondering if anybody would be happy to share a list of what they've used.
It's a good question. Any specific aspect? Literacy, numeracy, creativity?
Anything.
Well, Google Classroom is quite a useful thing. It can be used collaboratively or individually, depending on what you want to do. Because if you set up a classroom, you can send them documents or things like that, and they can either write a comment back, or you can set it up as an assignment, which they can actually post back to you, and you can grade, and it will give you could, like for an assessment or whatever it is, and you can grade them, and they can see what their mark is. So yeah, that's a very good app. If you could start using that, if you could find a use for that, yeah.
We only have one place in the school that's wireless, and that's the library. So to apps, math type apps to the game, sort of game apps for the kids. But anything at all that you've got, I'd really appreciate it. I'll have a look at that.
There was another one. I don't know if it's a bit complicated. There's one called Lightbot, which is a sort of an introduction to programming, I guess you'd say, coding, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, I've seen that, yes.
Yeah, the free one is, it's like little puzzles where you have to get the robot to turn on all of the lights in whatever situation it is. And I guess you could sort of compare it to Scratch in the way that you have to think about solving a problem, really. But that's a fairly simple app where it would probably make them think about what they have to do to get the robot to the light. Doesn't require internet. That's just a app you install, and it should just work as it is. Yeah, that's the paid version, that one.
Oh, okay,
the
so
free
there's a
version.
free version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Miss Holland, there's with the YouTube video that I'm sharing with you, it has a method for you to extract and share apps on a USB stick. So you can actually, yeah. So basically, what Ruben's saying is you can download this on one XO, extract it, put it on a USB stick, and give it to the rest of your class. And because it's free, that's not a problem because it's a free license.
Oh, good. Okay. Yep.
There's another one I wanted to show that's already preloaded on your XO, and it's WPS Office. I know. Look, it's more of a Hang on, here we go. Ah, that's a cool one. Hang on, I'm going to quickly copy that. Sorry, Anne. You were really garbled there.
Oh, sorry, I was talking to someone else.
Oh, right. Not a problem. Okay, so this one app that I wanted to show you, Acacia, do you guys still teach cursive to the students?
Yep.
I'm not sure how well this is going to show up on this file, but if you go to WPS Office, which I'm sure all of you already know, you can actually go to Pen and go use finger. And with the with the VNC software that we're using at the moment, you can actually project this onto your interactive whiteboard if you've got internet connectivity. But other than that, the students themselves can have a play on their XR. And I'm going to click on use finger and use my finger to actually write. So I can actually train them how to use cursive. I shouldn't have done that. That's my signature. So I'm just going to write my name. And so you can instruct students in learning how to write, letters in cursive, or asking them how their penmanship would look like. So it's just one aspect of it. I know in year 4 they start doing, a lot younger than year 4 they start doing these things, but it just popped into my head. I don't know if this is something that you could use. Is this something that you could use?
I think so. Yeah.
There's another.
If I don't have
Sorry,
wireless to hook it up with, is there a cable that I can get to hook it from the XO to the interactive?
I think there is. I'm pretty sure there is. I think if you go to JNW, JB Hi-Fi, they'd be able to get you a micro HDMI to connect to your interactive whiteboard, I think.
So would it connect into the back of the computer that's hooked up to the whiteboard?
You can actually connect it directly to the whiteboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, what do you reckon? I mean, Ruben, you've got more experience in that than I think.
Well, apart from using, like, are you wanting to connect the Exos to the internet without wireless? Is that what you're saying? Or you just want to share the screen?
In the classroom, just to
Yeah.
share the screen from the EXO up onto the whiteboard or the interactive.
Okay. What kind of whiteboard do you have? Is it just one of these Panasonic or smart boards?
Active Inspire.
Sorry, what was that?
Active Inspire.
Okay. Well, I don't really know what that one is. Is that a more modern one, or how old roughly?
It's reasonably new, but it's not current.
Okay. Well, the problem is it a projector or an interactive screen like a TV?
Projector.
Okay.
To
The problem that
plus it shines back onto the screen.
Okay, the problem that you have with a projector is that the Exos only have a micro or mini, whatever they call it, HDMI connector. And the only thing you can do is you need to get a converter that converts the HDMI into a VGA. Most likely it's going to be a VGA, but without looking at it, I can't tell you. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it without using the network. HDMI to VGA converter.
They're not that expensive. They're like $20 or something from Dick Smith or
Yeah.
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 Hang on. Sorry, Ruben. I just noticed Daniel actually posted a YouTube video here. Daniel, did you want to talk us through this?
With that good game spawn point, make a game. I had a teacher that was doing that, and they had a makey. Does anyone know what a makey is?
Not really. What is it?
It's this, I suppose you could say it's a control board.
Okay.
So lets you turn everyday objects into buttons. And this teacher was using that to control the game the students made.
Oh.
And you can make that game in Scratch. That's why I posted it.
Oh, nice.
Not Scratch Junior, the bigger one.
The big boy version, basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have to go find it on the ABC website to find all the resources for it, though.
So you've put. So teachers, I'm not sure if you can see my screen. Can you guys see the YouTube results?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. I'm gonna put the query on chat. That way you guys can have it, and you can click on it and maybe save the bookmark.
Because if you try and watch it on the ABC website, it's in really poor quality and you can barely read what's on the screen.
Man, it's a shame they don't fund this enough, seriously, because these things could be really good.
Because they've also got another one where they seem to do it every month. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for that. This is a really valuable resource. Thanks for that, Dan.
That's all right.
All right. So, Acacia, I think we also have a whole list of apps. So, if you'd like to actually visit our support page, I'll put that here. That's this one. On the forums page, you could see the. Oh, actually, we are on the forums page. Just going to quickly search apps on that. So if you actually type apps on it, you'll be able to find lists on there as well. So you can see if any particular app does suit your classrooms or I guess, a bit more detail on how other teachers have done it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Not a problem. All right, folks, I think that's it. I just want to finish up real quick so we can prepare for the next webinar, batch of webinar attendees. Guys, thank you so much for your participation. It's been an absolute blast. Acacia, Anne, Dan, Ruben, and Michelle, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best, guys, and have a good afternoon. And Ruben, I'll speak with you tomorrow.
Yep, no worries. See you then.
Cheers. And Acacia, I'll email you about my proposal for flying to Queensland.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thanks, guys. I'm ending the webinar now. How do I do that? Click and webinar.